All right, let's unpack this. Today we're diving deep into the world of spokespersons. You've got a big interview coming up for a spokesperson role. And, well, we're here to help you ace it. We've got some fascinating insights from RoleCatcher's career and interview guides for spokespersons, plus some cool intel on how their AI can give you a serious edge.
It's interesting. You know how spokespersons are often seen as just the face of a company during press conferences, but their role is so much more multifaceted.
Right. Think of them as like architects of communication, shaping public perception and building trust, often across a wide range of industries. Not to mention, they're often the ones steering the ship during a crisis.
Absolutely. And that's precisely why these interviews can be so rigorous. The interviewer is looking for someone who not only, understands communication, but can also navigate complex situations and think on their feet.
So let's jump right into dissecting some common spokesperson interview questions. Let's really decode what the interviewer is looking for.
Sounds good to me.
First up, this one seems simple, but what inspired you to pursue a career as a spokesperson? There's a lot they're trying to uncover with this one.
Yeah, it's more than just listing your skills or achievements. They want to understand the driving force behind your career choice. What specifically resonates with you about being the voice of an organization? Is it the challenge of crafting compelling narratives, the opportunity to connect with diverse audiences, the chance to advocate for something you believe in?
So it's about showcasing your genuine passion for communication and framing your experience in a way that directly relates to the spokesperson role. What are some potential follow-up questions an interviewer might ask?
They might delve deeper into a specific experience you mentioned, asking, tell me more about a time you had to communicate a complex message to a diverse audience. What were your strategies and what were the results? This lets them see how you apply your skills in real-world situations.
I see. So it's about being ready to showcase specific examples that highlight your communication prowess. Okay, next question. How do you prepare for media appearances or press conferences?
This one is all about demonstrating a structured and strategic approach to preparation. It's easy to say, I do my research, but they want to see that you go beyond the surface.
So what would be a good way to demonstrate that deeper level of preparation?
You could talk about analyzing past interviews or press releases from the organization or its executives. Mention specific resources you use to stay up to date on industry trends. Show them you understand the nuances of their specific industry and that you're already thinking like their spokesperson.
That's a great point. Show them you're not just reactive, but proactive in your approach.
Yeah.
Could you give an example of how RoleCatcher's AI can help with this type of question?
Absolutely. RoleCatcher's AI can analyze the specific job description and identify keywords related to preparation and industry knowledge. It can then suggest relevant examples from your CV or experience that highlight those skills. So you're not just throwing out general statements, you're tailoring your answer to precisely what they're looking for.
That's a game changer. It's like having a personalized coach who's guiding you to put your best foot forward.
Exactly.
All right, let's tackle a tougher one. How do you handle difficult or hostile questions from the media? We all know those moments can get pretty intense.
This is where they're assessing your composure under pressure. It's not just about staying calm, but also about conveying the organization's message effectively, even when faced with a barrage of challenging questions.
So what's the best way to approach this question?
The STAR method is your friend here. Describe a specific situation where you faced a difficult question, the task at hand, the action you took, and the result you achieved. Did you manage to de-escalate the situation? Did you successfully pivot back to the key message?
And what about follow-up questions? What else might they want to know?
They might ask, what's your strategy for dealing with aggressive or disrespectful reporters? Or they might pose a hypothetical situation, like, imagine you're at a press conference and a reporter accuses your company of unethical practices. How would you respond?
Those are great examples. It's important to show that you can think clearly under pressure and remain professional, no matter how heated the situation gets.
Absolutely.
Okay, moving on to another crucial aspect of being a spokesperson. How do you stay up to date with current events and industry trends?
Here, they're looking for evidence that you're a proactive information seeker, not someone who's passively waiting for information to come to them. Mention specific sources you rely on, industry publications, professional organizations, thought leaders, podcasts.
And what about those unexpected follow-up questions?
They might ask, what emerging trends in our industry are you particularly excited about? Or what are some challenges you see facing our industry in the coming years? They want to see that you're not just informed, but also engaged in critical thinking about the future of the industry.
That's a fantastic point. It's about demonstrating that you're not just staying current, you're actively thinking ahead.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
You know, it's interesting how this question about staying current, it can also reveal a lot about a candidate's understanding of the spokesperson role. It's not just about being informed, it's about being able to connect those insights to the organization's goals and messages.
That's such a crucial point. It's about being able to synthesize information and apply it strategically, not just regurgitate facts.
Exactly.
Okay, let's dive into the next question. This one focuses on experience. What experience do you have working with the media?
This is your chance to showcase those successes. Don't be shy about highlighting specific campaigns, media placements you've secured, or any quantifiable results you've achieved.
And how can RoleCatcher's AI help craft a stellar response to this question?
RoleCatcher's AI can analyze the job description and your CV. To identify relevant experiences that align with the specific media work mentioned, it can even suggest ways to quantify your impact, like mentioning the reach of a campaign or the increase in media coverage you helped generate.
So it's not just about saying I've worked on media campaigns, but really painting a picture of your impact with concrete examples.
Precisely. And speaking of impact, the next question is all about measurement. How do you measure the success of a media campaign?
The all-important question of metrics. This is where you demonstrate your understanding of how to connect media efforts to tangible business outcomes.
You want to go beyond vanity metrics like the number of press releases sent. Showcase your knowledge of key performance indicators, KPIs, like website traffic, social media engagement, brand sentiment, and even lead generation.
And what are some potential follow-up questions to be prepared for?
They might ask you to describe a specific campaign where you use data to measure success. Or they might pose a scenario like, imagine you're launching a new product and you need to track the effectiveness of your media outreach. What metrics would you prioritize? They want to see how you think critically about measurement and how you connect it to overall business objectives.
Okay, brace yourself. Here comes the question that everyone dreads a bit. How do you handle a crisis situation or negative publicity?
This is where having a strong example ready to go is absolutely essential. And remember, it's not about claiming you've never faced a crisis. It's about demonstrating your ability to navigate challenging situations with composure and a clear plan of action.
So how should a candidate approach this question?
Use the STAR method again. Describe a crisis you've handled, outlining the situation, your task, the action you took, and the positive result you achieved. Emphasize your role in mitigating the situation, protecting the organization's reputation, and communicating effectively with stakeholders.
And I imagine there could be some tough follow-up questions here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They might ask, what were some lessons you learned from that crisis? Or how would you approach a similar situation differently in the future? These questions are designed to assess your ability to reflect, learn, and continuously improve your crisis management skills.
Excellent points. Okay, next question. How do you ensure that your message is effectively communicated to your target audience?
Here, they're looking for your understanding of audience segmentation and your ability to tailor your message to resonate with different groups.
So it's not just about crafting a good message, but understanding who you're speaking to and how they consume information.
Exactly. You might mention conducting audience research, identifying key demographics and psychographics, and choosing communication channels that align with their preferences.
And how could a candidate effectively weave in RoleCatcher's AI into their answer?
RoleCatcher can actually analyze the organization's target audience based on their online presence and provide insights into their demographics, interests, and preferred media channels. This information can then be used to craft a more targeted and effective answer.
That's incredible. It's like having a real-time research team at your fingertips.
Precisely.
Okay, now for the final question in this section. What is your experience working with executives and senior leadership teams?
This is about demonstrating your ability to collaborate, communicate effectively, and understand the priorities of those at the highest level of the organization.
So highlight your experience in presenting to executives, providing strategic counsel, and handling sensitive information with discretion.
Remember, executives value clear, concise, and data-driven communication.
Excellent point. Now, before we move on to the next section, I wanted to take a moment to touch on some career insights we gleaned from RoleCatcher's Career Guide.
Absolutely. It's important to have a broader perspective on the spokesperson journey as you prepare for this interview.
The guide outlines different career stages, from junior spokesperson all the way up to senior spokesperson. It's fascinating to see how responsibilities evolve as you gain experience and climb the career ladder.
For example, a junior spokesperson might focus on assisting senior spokespersons, conducting research, and drafting press releases. But as you progress to a spokesperson role, you'll take on more responsibility for developing and implementing communication strategies, promoting clients, and managing media inquiries. And at the senior spokesperson level, you'll be leading those strategies, providing strategic counsel to clients, and potentially managing a team of communications professionals.
It's a helpful way to visualize the career path and tailor your interview responses to demonstrate your readiness for the specific level you're applying for.
Absolutely.
Okay, shall we move on to the next question? So we've really dug deep into those interview questions, haven't we? But there's one more area I wanted to explore before we wrap up. The RoleCatcher Career Guide also touched on the importance of professional development for spokespersons.
Yeah, you're right. That's a crucial aspect they highlighted. Even for seasoned professionals, the field of communications is constantly evolving.
Exactly. The guide specifically mentions a couple of certifications that can really bolster your credibility. Have you ever worked with spokespersons who have these credentials?
I have, and it definitely makes a difference. The Public Relations Society of America's Accreditation in Public Relations, or APR, is one they mentioned. It shows a commitment to ethical practice and a mastery of core PR principles.
And they also highlighted the Certification in Communications Management, the CCM. That one seems to be more focused on strategic communication and leadership skills, right?
That's my understanding as well. It's a great option for those looking to move into more senior level roles. It demonstrates a deep understanding of communication planning, implementation, and evaluation.
So it sounds like pursuing these certifications can signal to potential employers that you're dedicated to professional growth and staying ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. It shows you're invested in your craft and committed to continuous learning, which, by the way, are qualities that many interviewers look for.
I like that. Always be learning. Now, before we sign off, I wanted to leave our listener with one final thought to ponder. It came up earlier when we were discussing those tough interview questions, but I think it deserves its own space to breathe.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
Imagine you're in a situation where your personal views conflict with the message you need to deliver as a spokesperson. How do you navigate that delicate balance?
That's an excellent question. It's something that every spokesperson grapples with at some point in their career. After all, you're a human being with your own thoughts and beliefs.
Exactly. And it really gets to the heart of professionalism and ethical conduct as a spokesperson. You're the voice of the organization, even when you might not personally agree with everything being said.
It requires a certain level of detachment, the ability to separate your personal opinions from the message you're tasked with delivering. It's about representing the organization's perspective authentically and effectively, even when it differs from your own.
And I think that's where preparation and self-awareness come in. During the interview process, you can ask questions about the organization's values and culture to get a sense of alignment.
That's such a good point. And during your preparation, really reflect on your own values and boundaries. What are your non-negotiables? What kind of messages would you feel uncomfortable delivering? Having that clarity up front can help you navigate these tricky situations if they arise.
Well said. It's all about finding that balance between representing the organization authentically and staying true to yourself.
Couldn't agree more.
So there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into the world of spokespersons, from nailing those interview questions to navigating the ethical considerations of the role. We covered a ton of ground, and we hope you feel empowered and prepared to take on that interview.
Remember, preparation is key. Craft compelling answers, leverage RoleCatcher's AI tools to refine your responses, and be ready to showcase your passion, skills, and experience. And of course, be yourself. Authenticity and genuine enthusiasm will go a long way in making a lasting impression.
We wish you the best of luck in your interview and in your future career as a spokesperson. It's a challenging but incredibly rewarding field, and we're excited for you to embark on this journey. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.